Okay, today we're gonna show you how to set up your Gavel art project. So first thing you're gonna do is go down here to Launchpad. You're gonna click that. You're gonna scroll over till you find Adobe Photoshop 2018 and open that. While that's opening, make sure you're already logged into the server and you have Holmes Journalism there. And once it pops open like this, you're gonna go up to the top and you're gonna go to File, New. And you should have a screen like this pop up, and so we're going to do a couple things. First, we're going to determine what we're saving it as. So we're going to title this your name, art, and if it's the first one out of the three you're doing, put -1, second one -2, third one -3, and so on. Next, we want to set up the size, and what we're going to do now is we're making art pieces that will probably go in the Gavel. So generally, for what we're talking about, I'll give you a specific size for what we're working on. Generally, from now, we're going to just do 3 by 3. Make sure this says inches and not pixels or anything else. So 3 inches by 3 inches. And then the resolution down here, let's set at 200. That's a good resolution there. We want it in color. Make sure it doesn't say grayscale. And the background, it's fine that it's white. So we're going to go and we're going to press create. And it should give us this. Now the very first thing I want you to do when you open a new file is to go up top here to File, and we're going to go to Save As. And this is why it was important for you to be logged into the server. You should see the server here. You should be able to go onto that and select the appropriate folder for whatever this assignment is that you're working on for it to go in there. I think for most of you watching this for the first time, this would be in the graphic design images. So you see that folder there. You don't need to click on that one. We're just going to save it in here, and I'm going to press save. So now it's all saved where it's supposed to be. The next thing you want to do is come over here to your layers, and you're going to click. If you don't see layers, you of course need to go to Window, Layers, and make sure it's checked off. But you're going to go over here and you're going to unlock this background layer, so it changes the name to Layer 0. And then we're going to place an image in here. So we're going to go to File, and we're going to go down here to Place Embedded. And now you should be able to go to the server and find wherever you saved your image that you're going to place. In this case, for a lot of you, it's inside the San Antonio Images folder where you're selecting one of these images that you want to do. I'm going to select this one, and you're going to press place, and it's going to place it on there. And depending on the size of it, you might hold down Shift and resize it. In my case, I'm gonna actually bring it right about there, and as long as it's got this big X on it, you can still manipulate it and move it around for now. So I'm gonna get it set in the middle there. I'm just gonna be working with the main part of the picture, and I'm gonna leave the rest of it out, but I'm gonna go ahead once I got it where I want it and press return, and now it's in place there. You notice we've got layer 0 and we've got whatever the name of the file is there. So what I want to do now is go up top and do layer, new layer, okay, and now we should have over here on top, it should say layer 1. If it's not, move it to the top. Then we should have the image layer, and then we should have layer 0. You can go ahead and take layer 0 and drag it to this little trash can here, so we should just have 2 layers. So what you're going to do once you have that, you're going to click on the layer with the image on it, and we're going to go to opacity, and you're just going to bring down the opacity a little bit. I'm doing about 90%. That way when we start drawing our lines, we can see what we're doing here. So then I'm going to click back on layer 1. This is the layer we're actually going to draw on. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to select the brush tool, and I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to make my point size. We're going to say, let's start with a 3px point, and let's make sure we have a really hard brush. I'm going to go with the hard round brush, and I'm going to go over here to the color, and I'm going to make sure we have a black color for this. So that way when I go try to draw, we can see what that looks like, and it looks pretty good. So you can go ahead and start on layer 1 there, tracing the part of the image that you're going to turn into a drawing. And if you'll notice and you want to see how you're going, without selecting this layer, you can just click on the eyeball and you can see your work so far. But make sure you do all your drawing on layer 1. So that's how you start drawing it. And as you're working on that layer 1, if you get to different parts that you're ready to color, remember it will pick up however you want to color it as long as your lines are closed. If it's open, it'll start painting everything else. So sometimes you'll want to zoom in. If you hold down Command and plus, that zooms in. Command and minus zooms out. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit to make sure I close up these lines around my chicken on a stick jalapeno. And we'll do like that right there. And I want to color in this, so I'm going to go first to the eyedropper tool, and you can sort of start to pick out your color. You're going to find a good green. Now that green's pretty olive green, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little liberty with this, and I'm going to find a version of the green that I think really pops. So I'm going to kind of play with that first green and then find a little bit lighter version of it that I like. So I like that version right there. I'm going to click on the outside right there. I'm going to say OK, and that way they both are that same color. I'm going to go here to the paint bucket, not the 3D material, paint bucket, and inside this one where all my lines are closed, I'm going to click, and boom, I've got my first color. I can do the same thing if you need to erase part of a line. It works the same way a brush does. Okay, you come here, and as long as you're on layer 1, you're not erasing any of your picture, and you can erase the lines as you need to. So Command minus zooms out, by the way. Once you have that all done, which mine's not done yet, you should see something like that. You'll have it all finished, and when you're done with that, just go to File, Save. Make sure that when you're doing your lines and your artwork with the paintbrush that you're using this 3-point and that you have black selected as your color. So that way when you do your lines, all of our lines are the same thickness. Make sure you also don't do like a sketching style like this, because that's not what we're doing on our current artwork. So once you have that, save it, and then you can select another image and do this for that one as well. You should have 3 images in that folder in total when you're all done. When you're all done, also, if you want to click this eyeball so you just have the image, you're good to go.